Anthony spent the last month of the year 1230, besides assisting the poor and the sick, in writing the festive sermons. Sometimes, at first light, Brother Luca would find him still bent over his writing, which meant that Anthony had not slept a wink that night. In 1231, Lent began on February the 6th, and Anthony, sensing that he still had a few months of life ahead of him, wanted to seize the opportunity to show people the way to reach a conversion of heart. Therefore, he prepared with his fellow friars a rather intense program that included a homily each morning in a different church in the city, after which people would have the opportunity to receive the sacrament of reconciliation. It was an unexpected success. The number of people flocking to hear Anthony's homilies gradually grew and grew, so that before long none of the chosen churches proved large enough to accommodate everyone. So, eventually, it was decided that a large open space should be chosen. Let's listen to a short passage from the first biography of Anthony, written by an anonymous friar.
Countless crowds flocked from the towns and villages around Padua, all thirsting to hear with supreme devotion the word of life. Anthony brought back to fraternal peace those who disagreed with each other, gave freedom to those in prison, and made those return what had been taken away by usury violence. It went so far that, having mortgages, houses and fields, they placed the money at his feet, and by his advice gave back the ill-gotten gains by repaying their values.
Towards the end of Lent, Anthony also succeeded in getting the Major Council of Padua to change a law of great social importance. Until then, insolvent debtors were punished with life imprisonment. Thanks to Anthony, on March 15, 1231, the city government enacted a new law in which no debtor could be deprived of his freedom if unable to pay off his debt. His property could be requisitioned, but his freedom could never be taken away. From this we can see how Anthony was also a great promoter of what we now call human rights. From what we have told so far, it would seem that St. Anthony went from success to success, never knowing the bitterness of rejection or defeat. Was this really the case? I would say definitely not. Let us not forget that truth often provokes hatred and revenge, and in fact, more than a few times, Anthony was denounced to the local authorities for allowing himself to condemn the vices of a nobleman or a usurer. Others, however, had no scruples in making an attempt on his life. One day, a group of heretics pretended to want to discuss some important points of faith with him and invited him to lunch with the intention of killing him. Anthony, who did not want to miss the opportunity to do good, accepted. At one point, they had a bowl of poisoned soup placed before him. Anthony noticed immediately and said to them, "Why are you doing this?" They replied, "To see if the words of Jesus told to the apostles are true. When they drink deadly poison, it will not hurt them at all." Anthony gathered himself in prayer, drew a sign of the cross of the food, and then ate peacefully, reporting no harm. Confused and repentant, the heretics asked forgiveness and were converted. St. Anthony often reminds us of the importance of conversion of the heart, in pursuit of a life in conformity with the Lord's will. Let us therefore pray to Him to help us realize this in our lives as well. Dear St. Anthony, patron of the lost and repentant sinners, obtain for us the grace of true conversion, that we may live according to the will of the Lord. Amen.